All right. So I have already uploaded this chapter 3 and chapter 4 format to our Canvas and to your Facebook group. So for the discussion of findings, okay, so as usual, it has a title or objectives, or see a mini abstract. So it says here, do not write the entire objective statement. Instead, write a short title of the objective. Okay, to be exact, you're not going to explain anything. You're just going to indicate here the things that, or the titles, or the objectives that you're going to discuss. Okay, so to give you a brief example, we have our own, okay, discussion of findings when I was still in college. So we've only discussed, or this chapter presents discussion, so we've only discussed intelligent model, features and accuracy of the system. So as you can see, 3 titles only, or 3 objectives only. All right. So as simple as that. That's it already. And then we've started discussing the intelligent model, the features of the system, and then the accuracy of the system. And then after you've discussed everything step by step, we're going to have a super short summary. Okay, as you can see, it's like 50 words, I guess. So summary, the system blends and blends overall time delay and success rate depends on the network. So in discussion of findings, this is where you're going to test your project or your application. Okay, so how effective it is, what is the success rate, 1 to 10, okay, using different scenarios, of course. So in our case, since this one is smart home application, so we're using internet or Bluetooth, so we've used let's say different kinds of signals. So level 1, like 1 bar, level 2, 2 bars, level 3, 3 bars, level 4, 4 bars. And then of course, we've also included there the delays. So we've listed everything. Okay, so that's why we call this one discussion of findings. What are your findings with your project? So in reality, okay, once you're done with your project, this is where you really uh, took a lot of most of your time in doing your documentation. Why? Because this is where you are now testing the final piece of your project. Okay, so it's not just a protocol anymore. It's like the final, call this one, final form of your project, or final uh, form of your application. All right. So in here, uh, basically this one is architectural model, but certain Dingan insisted that instead of architectural, because architectural is like a broad model, so we've used the term intelligent model. Okay, so this one depends on your instructor already. Okay, so whatever is the most fitting term for your model, then that is the one that you're going to use. And then of course the features of your project. Okay, what are the functionalities of your project? How does it work? And then lastly, so the most difficult part. So you should get at least, I think, 80%. So 8 out of 10. Okay. So out of 10, there should be 80% accuracy of the system. Possible you should get 90. Okay. One failure only out of 10. Because if it's 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10, there's a big chance that this chapter, or in this chapter, or your project is already a failure, meaning you wasn't really able to create the project that you are intending to do, okay, or intending to finish. So that is why this one is the most important part. Okay, so telling the features of your project, so no problem, since you're the one who's deciding the features of your project. But when it comes to accuracy, so you must have a proof. This one is really accurate for 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10. All right. And then just a short overview, and then system architecture. So this is now our own way of doing this one. Okay. So we've included the system architecture of our project, the intelligent model of our project. So yeah, I won't be explaining those to you guys anymore since we have different projects. So if you guys think that you need this one, okay, then so be it. Okay. But if you guys do not need this one, then come up with another way of showing your model, okay, your architectural model. And the features of the system. So no problem with this. So this one depends on your project now, the features of your project. And here's the part of our project. So we have this features of the system. And as you can see, we have the log in and log out. So this is the minimum requirements of every project. So this one, oops. So this one can check the current status of the appliances. So initially, once you have logged in, it will show to you the current status of every appliances. And then from there, you can now control the LED, control the window blinds, control the TV, and so on and so forth. So as you can see, we only have a very simple project. Yet, it took us 6 months to finish this one. Okay, so that is why I keep on telling you guys to start with a very small project, yet important or essential in our society. So the end user can control their appliances with the use of their smartphones that has a load balance. So in here, we've discussed the parts of our project. So once you log in, you'll see this interface, and then this is how you turn on, turn off an LED. This is how you control the window blinds, etc., etc. So we have a very simple interface, the TV, LED, window blinds, and then the settings. And then for the security measures, to be exact, we actually failed in defending this one before, since our project is susceptible to cyber attacks, to be exact. Since anyone can connect to our Bluetooth device or Wi-Fi uh, device on our project. But then again, since our project is just a protocol, so they've allowed us to, have not so good security measures to our project. So we only have one security measures, which is the log in or log out. Okay, just a username and password that is uh, saved in the database, okay, and so on and so forth. And here are the testing phase. So we've also used the bars diagram. So as you can see, we have test 1, test 2, test 3, and then there are delays, etc., etc. And then we have the success rate. So luckily, we have 100% success rate on every functionalities or features of our system. So yeah, no problem when it comes to that one. And what else? So those are just the 3 testing diagrams for our 3 main features. And then for the last one is just a small summary. Right? So yeah, that's it for the chapter 3. So in here, this one is similar with the title of objective. So we only have 3 title objectives. So the intelligent model, the I forgot intelligent model, and last is the accuracy of the system and features of the system. Okay, so you guys can copy our way of uh, discussing the chapter 3. So we included the model, the features, and then the accuracy only. Okay. But if your project needs more information that cannot be discussed to the accuracy, features, and then intelligent model, then uh, feel free to add any objectives. Okay, so you can find a lot of objectives under discussion of findings on the internet. So just search that one on the internet. Right? So are we clear so far regarding with the chapter 3? So these are the other types. We have the software design. We have this one, the functionality or the features of the system. And then the architectural design, which is the first one, which is, in our case, it's intelligent model. So yeah, just those. So did you guys understand the concept of discussion of findings?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You guys have clarification. Why is it no one's asking, sir, how do we do the chapter 2 properly? Is it supposedly like this or like that? Why is it no one's asking? So supposedly every meeting or every day or every other day that you have a progress with your chapters, should let me check it before you will submit it to the canvas. Okay? Because I don't know if what you're doing in your documentation is correct or no. So you should approach me from time to time. Okay, so consult me from time to time. So no problem with that. Okay, so even if it's 12 midnight, no problem, because I can even I will uh, read that one tomorrow morning anyway. So no problem. All right. So don't be shy to ask. Okay, are we clear on that, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, kasi wala nagtatanong eh. Go worry ako kung may nagagawa pa ba kayo, wala. Anyway, so the next one is the chapter 4. All right, so this one is super easy. Once you've completed your project, then you will now be able to answer this conclusion and recommendation. Oops, yeah, recommendation. Okay, so your conclusion will be based on your discussion of findings. Okay, so let me show our own documentation. Right, so as you can see right here, it also has a very short uh, abstract or overview. So these chapters summarize the findings and recommendations that the researchers collected based on the result and form the algorithm that they use. Okay, so our conclusion will be based on our discussion of findings. So as you can see, we have here the design intelligent model. For our conclusion, we have the features of the system, and then lastly is the accuracy of the system. Right. So now it is now depend on to you guys on how will you explain your intelligent model, your features of the system, and the accuracy of the system. So yeah, that depends on to your output or to your results. And then for the recommendations, this is where we think where we've missed something. So once we finish this one, actually conclusion, we have already finished everything. And then for the recommendations, this is where the instructors or the advisors or the panelists things that you need to improve your intelligent model. Okay, well, anyway, you already passed and then your project is already good. However, I think it still needs more improvement. So that is where we put the recommendation for the intelligent model for the features. Okay, so as you can see right here, with website here, the features of the system are limited. Okay, so we are now like call this one uh, anong English ng binababa. Binababa na namin yung project namin. It's hard to explain. So we're not recommending our project anymore because we're saying that it's now limited. Okay, so it's very unlikely for the user to hear this one from our site. So the feature researcher can add a Bluetooth, blah blah blah, Wi-Fi to improve the system. So since the system is signal based, blah blah blah. Okay, so and the recommendation of that where's that one now? Okay, of this number two, the features of the system. And then, as you can see, we have a lot more. So we're using GSM module, signal-based signal to communicate to the system has a time delay. So it's not, call this one, a real-time process. Okay. And then in the mechanical part, the housing or the cover of the system below the miniature should be integrated to the cover of the whole system. So we think that it needs more better housing, better protection or full protection for our circuitry to avoid, of course, getting a damage. And then so on and so forth. So we have a lot of recommendations for the future researchers or to whoever is going to use this project. Yeah, so that's it for the chapter 4. So quick and easy as long as you have finished the chapter 3 already. So for now, since you haven't finished your project yet, okay, so I would like you guys to assume, okay, just practice for now, and then whatever is your discussion of findings, like dummy inputs and then dummy outputs. So when we say dummy inputs and dummy outputs, you just assume that maybe this is the actual output of your project or actual success rate of your project. So just assume for now and then submit it to our canvas before February 18th, because that's the due date that I have put in there. So yeah, just for me to have a documentation that I can check once the finals is over. And then one more thing that I want you guys to know, the reason why you need to have a chapter 1 to chapter 4 uh, documentation is because you're going to present your project like you're really defending it like a real thesis, because the condition of certain dingan is once you guys are done with your project, I will let him join the Zoom meeting, and then even Mom Palawag, and then even Mom Suarez, so they might join for your presentations for your final form of your project, okay, or at least maybe 70% or 80%. Okay, so we're not really expecting a complete project, but at least just the main features of your project. All right. So yeah, imagine this one as your project already for your uh, project design 1 and 2. Project design, project study, project design. Yes. So yeah, that's it for the chapter 3 and chapter 4. And then one more thing, I almost forgot. Here's that one here. Here. So I will be sending this. Where's that? Here. So I will be sending this link. Okay. So take time to read this one, guys. This one is very helpful. This one is pointing out the things that you should and you should not do. So discussing your findings. So supposedly this one is for dissertations, but you can also use this one for just thesis, okay, or PB thesis. So it says here, do provide context and explain why people should care about your project. So do not just simply rehash your results. So you need to convince us why we should use your product or your project, okay, or your applications. That's why I keep on telling you guys that what is the edge of this application from the rest of the other similar applications to your project? Okay, why would they switch from their current application to your application? Okay, because if you don't have those, then what is the meaning or what is the essence of you creating such project? You're just wasting your money. You're just wasting your time. You're just wasting your knowledge when it comes to that certain project. So that is why you have to convince us that we should really use your project, right? One more thing is do emphasize on the positive. Actually, you must at least have a 90% positive selling point of your project, but do not exaggerate it, okay? So just tell the truth about our society and then tell the uh, truth regarding with the applications of the other uh, people that they are using right now. And then what are the positive things that you can tell about your projects that they don't have? Okay. So it's not, um, yeah, it's not backstabbing or you're not Anong English ng sinisiraan? Anyone? Help guys. I'm almost nauubusan ng English. Anyway, anong English ng sinisiraan? Anyone? So we are not discriminating. No. We are not saying bad feedbacks to their projects. We're just telling the truth. Okay. So you can say that as long as it's really true. Okay. As long as it's really a fact, and then you didn't just come up with such feedback with their project. Okay. So just uh, make a way to sell your uh, project. Okay. So always make an emphasis on that one for us users to use your project. Third one here is look toward the future. So do not end with it. So meaning, do not just limit your project into this. So if there is a way that the future researcher can still improve your project, then please include that one to your recommendations. So that is very important. So do not say, this is the perfect final form of your project already. No. Okay, there is always a better uh, design or a better features of your project as time goes by. Okay, so look forward toward the future. All right. So yeah, and then I'll leave the rest to you guys for the reading part. So those are actually very inspirational. Okay, just to give you an inspiration on how will you start creating your chapter 3, okay, discussing your findings. Yeah, so that's it for the chapter 3 and chapter 4. Do you guys have a question or clarification so far?
Wala pa, sir.
Wala pa. Answer. Answer. All right. So is there anyone here who's almost finished with your project? Or is there anyone here who's at least able to finish 50% of their project?
Kami, sir.
Kayo, Mr. Alejon?
Yes, sir.
That's a good thing. Okay. So when we say 50%, you should at least lag in, lag out for both the user and then the administrator. And then it should be able to, send for, yeah, very good, 40% for Mr. Pacific. And should be able to transact via internet, like upload and then download. Okay. So when I mean upload and then download, so it should be able to connect to the database. Okay, so it could be SQL or it could be Firebase or any other free databases. All right, so I hope that you guys will be able, so will be defending just what we finish, just the main feature, or will we defend the application as if it were feature, field, and food development? No, you will only defend the main features. Okay, the other side features are just a bonus actually. As long as you were able to fulfill the main feature of your uh, project, then that's it ready. I will say congratulations to already right away. Okay, and then you can now defend your project right away. Okay, so finish the main first before the other non-important features. Right? So any other question or queries? All right, so I guess there's no question anymore. So again, I'm encouraging you guys to ask a question from time to time, especially for your documentation. Okay. So yeah, that's it for our short meeting for today. If you guys do not have a question anymore, then you guys may now go. Ah, sorry. Wait. One more thing. I just would like to show to you guys, but it's not part of your documentation anymore. Okay. Once you're done with your conclusion, so this is where you now put the references, websites, newspapers that you have used, and appendices, and so this is our testing phase actually. Yeah, tables. 2:16 p.m. What is the date? Blah blah blah. What is the delay time? So we've tested a lot of different places here in Baguio City. And then we have here the appendix D, which is the timetable. So task one, we're able to finish this one, so on and so forth, up to task 10, turning over a final product and defense of the study. And then we have this task 1 to task 10. So as you can see, August to December. Okay, up to April. And here's our miniature. So here's just the overview of your real project. And then the circuitry, and then their connections, and then the codes. So as you can see, we only have 1 to 63 of chapter 1 to, or from the front page up to the last. And then the rest are just the main source code of your project. Okay. So 64 up to 110. So there's a lot of codes in there. And then our rations, just to give you guys an idea. Okay. Right, so that's it. So thank you guys for coming. So I hope that you guys will be able to finish your main features as soon as possible. Right? So good luck and thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So parang yung iba wala dyan ah. Anyway, so I am ending this meeting now. So thank you for coming, and then once again, good luck to your project.
Sir, pwede may question lang.
Yes, dalhin mo. 30 seconds na
Sir,
lang tayo.
about sa interface, sir, tanongin ko lang sana yung mga kaklase ko kung ano yung ginamit nilang language na sa ano nila ginawa yung interface nila. Kasi sa amin wala na isa sa group namin yung marunong actually gumawa ng interface. So nagbasa-basa lang ako online.
If it's a website, go visit the weschool.com. Okay. It is your very friend when it comes to creating a project. Nandun lahat.
Sir, what is it again, sir?
W33 School. W33 School.
Thank you, sir.
Ano yan?